still talking with Nick. We're going to go ahead and talk about your experience getting into USC and kind of the process. We all know that didn't happen overnight, so let's talk about that a little bit. From straight out of Green Valley High School, graduating, what was it like kind of applying and, going through the whole process to get into that school?
Well, coming from Green Valley, I wasn't really in a lot of organizations or clubs, so I had that going against me. I was more of a sports person. I played a little bit of football, played basketball, and ran track. So I wasn't really, like I said, I wasn't really into organizations or clubs. So that's definitely a good thing to have on your resume applying for colleges. And because I didn't have that, I feel like that kind of hindered me a little bit. But my grades were still good enough to get the Millennium Scholarship and go to UNLV. Once I got to UNLV, I knew I didn't want to stay there.
So from UNLV, then you had to do more to get into USC.
Yeah, I always knew I wanted to go back to California, whether it be UCLA or USC. So I was
you're
always
from California,
right.
Okay.
I was always working toward that. So I knew I had to be on top of my grades and everything in order to be able to transfer to a school like USC or UCLA. So I was always in communication with administrators from USC, seeing what I had to do about my grades and everything. So at UNLV, I made sure I always got A's and B's, straight A's preferably, and so after my year at UNLV, I applied to USC, and because of my grades and how well I did in high school and at UNLV, I was able to transfer there after my first year.
Good. So for the youth who are still in high school now, trying to get into, a good university or college that they like to go to, what can you say to them about just the process, maybe keeping up their grades?
Yeah, keeping up your grades is definitely the most important. Also doing well on your tests like the ACT and SAT while you're in high school. Other than that, just staying on top of your stuff, trying not to take breaks, because once you take a break from school, it's really hard to go back. I have a lot of friends who, say that they're going to take a semester off from college so that they can work and save money, get their stuff together, and then they end up not going back to college for a while, if at all. So definitely the main thing is just trying to stay in school as long as you can, get as much done as possible, work on getting your degree, and if you do have to take a break, try to take a break after you get that first degree, after you get your bachelor's.
Right, and keeping your head up too, because I know it's not easy, especially if you plan on going away for school. Being away from your family for so long, when for most of us that's not what we're used to. What can you say about your experience with? I know you are from Los Angeles, so you have family there, but the family you grew up out here with, being away from them.
Yeah, it's definitely tough, especially, towards the middle of the semester in college. Most classes you only have 2 or 3 assignments, and they'll all fall on like the same week. You might have an assignment midway through the semester, or a midterm, or an essay due in the middle of the semester, and then another one due at the end of the semester. And so at the beginning of the semester, you might have a lot of free time and everything's good, but once the middle semester hits and you have 5 essays and 3 tests in 1 week, you can get really floundered in your work and really kind of fall behind. But you just have to push through and keep working hard, because once you're done, then you're done. And keep moving, keep trucking.
And it all pays off in the end too.
Right.
So I want to ask you, and we did kind of touch on this a little bit earlier, but what is your next step as far as finishing school?
Well, after doing this teaching program that I was talking about earlier, I definitely plan on going back to school and getting my master's. Eventually, I want to go into film, whether it be screenplay writing or directing, whatever it may be, maybe TV writing. But I definitely plan on taking this English degree and putting it towards writing creatively for some film or TV, something like that.
Okay. And I actually had your younger brother on last week, and we did talk about you two maybe partnering together with him and his acting career. He said, you know, you could, you know, write some type of movie for him so he could, you know, play in that movie. So we did talk about that, and that's cool because, you know, being siblings, you know each other well enough to know, you know, what's going on.
Right, know each other's strengths and weaknesses.
Right. So that's very exciting. That will be, I mean, that's very exciting having all that ahead of you and just knowing that's what you want. Do you have a preference at all, as, you know, cartoons, regular movies, anything like that?
You know, not really. I consider myself pretty versatile, so I mean, we'll see whatever comes up. But
cool. That is very cool. It's is it at all? Is it hard for you to see yourself doing any of that, or is it just? I mean, do you have a plan B? Is that just what it is?
I mean, no. I mean, I know I'm not scared of whatever's gonna come up, and I'm welcoming all challenges. So, I mean, no, I'm not afraid of anything. I'm just gonna let it come and see what happens. But
okay. That, I mean, you sound like you pretty much have everything put together, and it'll be nice to see the outcome on that. If anyone has any questions, please call in, and, you know, Nick's here, I'm here if you want to ask any questions. 609-7626. Call us.
Mom, what the hell?